Hey, Roger D. Starr here, and it looks like we are on the last entry in the Nick Jr. Filmathon. Now, in my opinion, this is probably the best one to end on because this is a series that I remember fondly. And that series is known as Franklin. Based on a series of books by Brenda Clark and Paulette Bourgeois, it would spawn 2 animated shows and 4 movies. It revolves around the life of the titular turtle who can count by 2s and tie his shoes, even though he doesn't wear any most of the time, who goes to school and hangs out with his friends in Woodland. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It doesn't try to be something big or epic nor trying to add more than it needs. It's just about how kids live their lives and what they explore when even how to deal with simple situations. It's a relatively timeless series among the lights of other preschool shows like Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and Dinosaur Train. I actually do remember a lot of episodes that tackled problems that many kids dealt with growing up. I think the one that pops into my head is the thunderstorm episode. I remember when I got freaked out by those, and this episode helped me cope with them. The series lasted for about 6 seasons, and so during the end of the series, I randomly was, looking around YouTube and discovered a trailer for the movie that was coming out. And I found out that it was going to be on DVD soon, so I decided to search around for it, which I had lack of luck finding until I found a copy in Blockbuster just when it was about to shut down.
That was in 2014.
Oh what? I just want to know how the series ended, alright? Well, let's not waste any time. This is my review of Franklin and the Turtle Lake Treasure. Why do I think this film is so great? Well, let's find out. We begin the movie with a flashback of Granny Turtle's childhood. After burying something, the scene gets dark rather quickly.
Mother! Mother!
What rating is this film again? So after that, we see Franklin and his friends, Snail, Beaver, and Bear, playing pirates. Bear gets a little too into it.
Shiver me, oh, timbers! Oh!
Game over, yeah!
Quick me, hearties! The treasure!
Oh yeah, FYI, Franklin has a different voice. That's because neither of his original 2 voice actors, Noah Reid and Cole Kaplan, reprised the role as the character. Instead, the role went to Cameron Ansel, who many know as one of the voices of Arthur Reed. His Arthur voice does show sometimes,
Well, she wasn't very nice to me.
but I think he does well to capture the character's voice and mannerisms. After that, Franklin and Snail head back to Aunt Lucy's house. They start to notice something off-putting because the front door is left open. I gotta admit that the animation in this film is really good. It's a bit smoother than what we expect in a regular episode. It all holds up even to this day. I guess that makes sense since this did get a theatrical release in Canada and France.
Maybe she's back.
But what if she's not?
Then we might get our chance to be heroes.
How is going to your aunt's house gonna make you a hero?
Does all this stuff belong to her?
Yep, she's an archaeologist.
Oh yeah, I would have never guessed. I bet it's for an antique store she is planning. Franklin tries calling out to his aunt when a masked figure appears and spooks him. Nah, just kidding. But that would have been awesome. Next, Franklin's family receives a letter from Aunt Lucy. However, the letter has no address. Before deciphering the letter, Franklin and Snail come running. They report the masked monster that they encountered, which gives Mr. Turtle an idea.
I thought we might find you here.
So, we are introduced to Aunt Lucy, who has come to visit the family.
The boys just came from your place.
Wait. The boys? Snails is a boy? Wait, let me look that up. What? For the longest time, I thought he was a girl the entire time throughout the entire show because of his voice. Huh? The more you know. They come to Granny Turtle's house for the party, and Franklin is introduced to his aunt's goddaughter Samantha, voiced by Taja Eason, who some people might know as the voice of Betty from Atomic Betty. She was the one who spooked Franklin and Snail earlier. Upon their first proper meeting, the two get along as well as you expect.
I didn't think you'd be so scared.
I wasn't scared.
Could have fooled me.
Night happens, and Aunt Lucy explains that she is going to Egypt for a few days.
We don't get to see you very often. And I'm not getting any younger, you know.
That's some dark foreshadowing. Aunt Lucy shows the family the album, and Franklin and Sam continue to get at each other's throats.
He's so cute.
Yeah, well, at least I don't look like a monster.
Yeah, because you scared him, then made fun of him, and now you call him cute in his baby picture. What did you think was going to happen? The family dances to Granny's favorite song when Sam offers to dance with Franklin. He'd rather dance with Harriet. Okay, that was really funny, but Franklin, that was a dick move. The next day, Mrs. Turtle rightfully tells Franklin that he wasn't very nice to Sam and orders him to apologize and bring her flowers. It's a girl thing, apparently.
Flowers? That's a girl thing.
Walk it off, tough guy!
At Aunt Lucy's, we get this odd scene. What was that? Was she thinking about an episode of Zaboomafoo? We see Bear and Beaver waiting for Franklin to play more pirates, but then they see him with flowers heading to his aunt's house. Franklin tries to give the flowers to Sam, but his friends drop by and see what he's up to.
Hey, he does have flowers.
They're for my aunt.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
After that scene, Aunt Lucy introduces the Turtle Lake map, leading to the treasure that was buried as it was seen in the opening flashback. Franklin recognizes this as Granny's handiwork and proceeds to ask her more about it. She reveals that it's a time capsule that she buried when she was living with her parents at Turtle Lake.
You leave it for a long time, then dig it up.
Ah, yes. I remember going to bury time capsule in my elementary school. It was quite amazing. Except, you know what? Nobody cares! I mean, seriously, did anybody in the history ever go back to their old schools just to dig up their time capsules? Nowadays, it's just storage. Oh yeah, there's more to this flashback. Give Franklin a point compared to the Little Bear movie. They actually had the balls to imply the death of her parents. While it's not allowed to directly say that they died, the visuals and the score say everything there is. It's quite a gut punch. After that, Franklin and Sam try to investigate more about Turtle Lake. When Mr. Turtle receives a phone call saying that Granny is sick, the kids head over to meet her. Also, we see Bear getting jealous of Sam and Franklin hanging out with each other, which comes out of nowhere and is kind of forced, but more on that later. They find out that she wants to get her time capsule. Aunt Lucy explains that Granny buried a talisman which is special to turtles and giving life to them. Think of it like Coco except for the whole talisman thing. With no time to waste, the group head to Turtle Lake while a song is playing in the background, and thank gosh it's not one that points out the obvious. While resting, they come across a bunch of butterflies that lead them to a beautiful looking garden. Do they work for Tikal? Nah, they were sent by the old turtle of the forest who happily invites them into her house. She then tells the story of how her talisman helped her survive for weeks without food and how Franklin's great-grandfather saved her. And also, we get more awkward silence from these movies.
It's okay. There's plenty more soup.
Okay. She then explains to Franklin how powerful the talisman is. At the same time, Bear asks if she can give one to them. She says that they were made centuries ago, so it would be impossible. Sam then suggests that she could let them borrow hers until Granny gets better. She agrees, but Franklin realizes that it might not be a good idea and there could be a chance that the old turtle could die. The old turtle then decides to help them out by using her ability, foresight.
I see a rainbow, and beneath that, a sunflower.
I wonder if I can do that. Oh, spirits, please tell me what the Illumination Super Mario Brothers movie is gonna look like. Oh, gosh! They arrive at Turtle Lake and search for the sunflower under a rainbow. They then try splitting up into teams, but Bear once again gets jealous of Sam and walks away. Time for a little chat between friends.
You forgot all about us the other day, and you're always being nice to her, even when she's playing dumb jokes.
So many of you might be finding Bear annoying, but to be fair, that's how his friendship with Franklin is like. They've known each other for a long time and have shown how deep their friendship is. It's not like Frodo and Sam, but more like Sonic and Tails. They not only treat each other as friends, but more like family. When it comes to something like trust, they take it seriously. There's an episode where Franklin breaks a promise to Bear and the latter ends up not talking to him for weeks. There's even a big fight before that happens. It's similar to how Sonic and Tails fought in that one story arc in the comics. So Bear's little conflict with Franklin, while forced, is understandable and is a common thing throughout the series. Franklin apologizes to Bear and they keep looking for the treasure, but it seems that they still can't find it. They then come across a little crow who tells them about a rainbow. However, she wants to play with snails in exchange for the information. They refuse and negotiate for something else, and the crow tells them that they will find one near a waterfall. But first, I really gotta give this movie a plus for having a pretty mature scene with Franklin tending to the grave of Granny's parents. They head to the lake, but then Snail gets kidnapped by the little crow, so Franklin and Sam go to the mountain to save him, with the latter leaving a trail for the other group.
Bear, stop!
Okay, that is more meme material right there. Seriously, what did the director say to the artist when drawing this? Okay, I need you to draw him like he's about to jump like Mario hitting a question block. Also, make him confused like he saw Dennis Rodman at a bowling alley. 10 points if you got that reference. The little crow takes Snail to her bird friends who have the intent to eat him, not play with him. She then tries to get Snail back, but the mother falcon comes in and scares her away. Franklin and Sam continue to find Snail around the mountain. They come across Little Crow, who reveals Snail's location. The two climb up and try to get Snail back, but the chicks just won't have it. They fall off, and thank gosh for that tree branch.
Oh no!
Never mind. Thankfully, the mother falcon manages to grab Sam, but Franklin ends up falling down. Aunt Lucy and friends make it on time and catch him with a blanket. Yeah, I'll believe that. They part ways with the little crow as they head to the waterfalls, but they hear something along the way.
Who's down there?
Name's Grizzly Bear.
Oh my gosh, the bear's name's Grizzly. Are you shitting me? They save the bear, voiced by Doug Murray, the voice of Mailbox from Blue's Clues and You. He decides to take them to his cave to stay the night before it gets dark. Back at home, we see Harriet humming to her grandmother. It's actually a pretty touching scene. While at the bear's cave, the group asks him if he knows anything about Granny's time capsule at Turtle Lake. He tells them that he dug up the time capsule and is somewhere in his cave. The search begins! An old lady is dying at the moment, but hey, at least we got Sam back!
Half the fun's getting even.
Franklin remembers the clues that the old turtle gave him and manages to shine a rainbow in the cave and find what else? A treasure chest. They find the time capsule and head back home. While at home, Franklin tries to use the time capsule to cure Granny, but to no avail. Franklin shows many of the mementos until he finds an old photo of his Granny and her parents. She wore glasses when she was a baby? How is that possible? Okay, joking aside, this is what helps Granny recover.
It's the only photo of my family I have left.
What? I'm not crying. You're crying. After that, we see everyone celebrating Granny's birthday, and Aunt Lucy tells the news that she will be staying in Woodland a bit longer.
But what about Egypt?
It can wait a bit longer.
I'll let Scooby-Doo get the treasure instead. Franklin dances with Sam and gives her the map of Turtle Lake so she won't forget about this adventure. And that's Franklin and the Turtle Lake treasure. And I gotta say, it was pretty good. Like, really good. While some moments were dull and the pacing can be a little off, there was a lot of good storytelling and good character development. It's not just doing a simple musical or going on a grand adventure that isn't as grand as it's supposed to be. It's just Franklin going on this quest to help someone in need and being selfless about it. That's one thing I really like about the character. He can be selfish sometimes, but he always knows the right thing to do and understand when it's time to have fun and when it's time to take things seriously. Also, the addition of Aunt Lucy and Sam were pretty nice. Honestly, for the conclusion of the original Franklin series, it ended on a good note. And thank you for joining me for Nick Jr. Filmathon. I hope you have a good time, and I hope you stay safe and healthy, and don't forget to get those vaccinations. You know, I have just thought of an idea of what reviews I plan on doing next, but you're going to have to keep watching to find out. So yeah, Roger D. Starr signing out, and I'll see you in the next video.